Hello everyone and welcome to Premier League Preview and Predictions with me, Steve, as part of the Daydreamer Gaming channel. So, game week 36 is upon us. The season is drawing to a dramatic close at both ends of the table. So, as usual, I'm going to go through the fixtures for this weekend's games, a little bit of a spiel on each game, whilst I play the delightful FIFA 17. So I've picked West Ham versus Spurs. It's a London derby that is being played on Friday night, and I realised I haven't really been Spurs on this game, and I want to give it a try because I hate to say it, they're a pretty good side. So anyway, let's go for it. So it's been a couple of weeks since my last video. No real reason why, just busy, life getting in the way and all that sort of thing. But I'm back. I want to keep on top of it as much as I can before the season finishes. And during the summer, when the season has finished, you know, I'll keep on doing something anyway, just to keep the football news going. Stadium looks very impressive on the game. Didn't get the chance to go earlier this season, unfortunately, but it does look. It looks good. I know it's had its problems, you know, with the fans and people saying it's not a football stadium, but it does look pretty good, and I would like to go. Would like to go one day. So I flew over it. Looked very good, very impressive. So I keep clearing my throat there. So, West Ham versus Spurs is the first game of the weekend. It's actually being played on Friday night, which is very brave of the Met Police, all things considered. So West Ham, 15th in the table, very indifferent season as you know, in their new stadium, and they face a Spurs side that are hot on the tails of Chelsea. They're currently in second place, 4 points behind, and you know they've fair play to them. They've kept this going. They've not allowed Chelsea to run away with the title, which has been good because, you know, a few weeks ago, for anyone that sort of watches these videos, and if you do, thank you very much, I was saying that Chelsea were going to walk this league, they were going to win it convincingly, but a couple of drop results, and Tottenham, you know, keeping up their great form, and yeah, we have a title race. So, in terms of predictions for this game, I believe Spurs will continue their run, and they will beat West Ham. We'll heap a bit more pressure on Slaven Bilic, who again has been in the there's been press reports this week suggesting that you know, his job will be reviewed at the end of the season and all of that sort of thing. So, you know, not a happy time at the Hammers at the minute. So, go for a Spurs win there. So on to Saturday. So that's Saturday the 6th of May. The lunchtime game is Man City versus Crystal Palace. So Man City are 4th, they're a point ahead of United in 5th. Pep seems kind of not content, but he's you know, he's kind of saying that 4th will be a great success this season. He's now trying to claim that he knew this season was going to be a struggle, which I don't believe for a second. Granted, he hasn't got the side he actually wants, but yeah, I think he probably thought he was going to come to this league and maybe get some silverware this season. And they're at home to Crystal Palace, who Allardyce has done an Allardyce, and he's got them winning and keeping clean sheets and scoring goals. They aren't completely out of the woods yet. 38 points from 35 games, and they are 6 points off the drop still. 6 points off fulfilling that final spot. And with 3 games to go, well, 3 games for most teams, some have 4. You'd like to think Palace fans will probably want one more win just to be safe, because the way Swansea and Hull have been, you just never know. Again, this is going to be a tricky game away from home. You know, you'd like to think that Man City will be too strong for West Ham. So I am going to go with a Man City win. Let's just have a shot. Oh, come on, ref. No, nothing doing. Nothing doing. Okay, next up we have Bournemouth versus Stoke. So Bournemouth looks like they're going to enjoy a third season in the Premier League. They've got to the magical 41 points. And yeah, another great season for Bournemouth. You know, absolutely fair play to them. Probably one of the smallest clubs to play in the Premier League, especially in this modern era. Josh King absolutely on fire at the minute. I believe it's 12 goals in his last 13. You know, that is some going. Bournemouth may have a bit of a struggle on their hands in the summer to keep hold of him. But yeah, fair play to Bournemouth. Eddie Howe, good manager. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. And they play Stoke, who are Stoke, and they're 12th. They're on 40 points. They're safe. Not much more you can say about Stoke. The great thing, of course, at the minute that's coming out of Stoke is that Jack Butland is back, which is great to see. Goalkeeper that I really rate. So it's great to see him back in first team action, and hopefully push him for that England spot, the #1 spot that he does deserve and one day should fulfil. In terms of this game, I think the form is with Bournemouth. As I say, Josh King's playing well. Both teams, like I say, are safe. So are we going to get a case of two teams that are where the players are already on the beach and we get a drab draw? I'm not so sure. I don't think Eddie Howe will send his players out like that. I don't think that's their ethos or their mentality. That was a good finish. So I'm going to go with a Bournemouth win on this one. Next up, Burnley versus West Brom. So another sort of mid-table-ish sort of class. Well, not quite mid-table actually. Burnley ended up slipping down to 14th, but a win last week has seen them get 39 points, pulls them further away from that 18th spot in the league, and they should be safe. It looked a little bit tricky for a couple of weeks, but they should be safe. Great job done by Sean Dyche. Their away form has not replicated their home form. If they could have just won a couple more games away this season, they would have been comfortably safe weeks ago. And that's something that maybe Dyche will have to, you know, obviously improve on, ready for next season. West Brom, great season, currently 8th, looking like they're going to keep that spot. They can't reach 7th now. But yeah, they've had a fantastic season. But again, they're safe. Are their players on the beach? Last time out, losing to the mighty Leicester in their last Premier League game, at least. So I am actually going to go for a draw in this game. I can't see either team, you know, busting a gut to go for the win, because they don't really have to. So I'm going to go for a draw. The big game down at the bottom is Hull City, currently 17th, 34 points. 2 points ahead of Swansea, who take up that 18th spot against the already doomed and relegated Sunderland. Now, so Sunderland's relegation was confirmed last week, and you know, this is a relegation that has been coming for what, at least 4 seasons. You know, at least 4 seasons, if not longer. You know, I suppose going back all the way back to Martin O'Neill, and they had Dick Advocat, Paolo Di Canio, who was the other one, the ex-Chelsea player, Gus Poyet, Allardyce last season, but unfortunately for David Moyes, it's him that has seen them, or has been in charge when they have been relegated. Despite the goals from Jermaine Defoe, you know, they've just haven't, and the heroics of Jordan Pickford, they just simply haven't been good enough, and it has been a long time coming. My fear for Sunderland is that, unlike Newcastle, I don't see them coming straight back up. Having sort of watched my team struggle in the Championship for 10 years, it is not an easy division to get out of. Yes, there's a lot more money in that league these days, and you know, the golfing class is huge, but I just don't think Sunderland have the players, or will have the players, that can get them back up. I don't think they will spend the money to get the players to get them back up straight away. So Sunderland fans may have to prepare for a long stay in the Championship. There's some big teams in there, some teams that have been great this season who aren't going to go up. They're going to be in and amongst it again next season, so it is a very, very tough league. So it'll be interesting to see how they do get on. And you know, I've got nothing against Sunderland, and if they do come straight back up, fantastic. It's only a good thing. They are a big club in terms of fan base when the fans turn up, and obviously the Newcastle-Sunderland rivalry is huge in that part of the country. Anyway, that's enough on Sunderland. Hull, you know, away from home they've been let down. At home they seem pretty strong. Very impressed with the manager, as I've said before. He is most certainly on for bigger and better things. I can definitely see him managing bigger clubs in the Premier League, if not across Europe. But this is a big game for them. Hull need this win. And with Swansea playing Everton, where, to be honest, you just don't know what's going to happen with Swansea at the minute. Hull need to go all out for the win. And this won't be as straightforward as people think just because Sunderland are relegated. We saw it last season. Relegated Newcastle beating Tottenham 5-2 on the last day of the season. Sometimes when the pressure's off with these teams that get relegated, they then produce their best performances and actually string some results together. So this won't be easy. This won't be easy, and I find this one actually very difficult to call, purely based on some of the things I've just said. I think home advantage is going to play a big part here. You know, I hope for the Sunderland fans' sake, Sunderland, I mean, they've already kind of gone down with a whimper, haven't they, all things considered. But, you know, I really hope that they can get a win or two between now and the end of the season, just for the fans. I'm going to go with home advantage, though. Hull City to win. Next up, we have the mighty Leicester City against Watford. So this is a very much a mid-table clash. Both teams on 40 points. The home team, Leicester City, being 11th, and Watford sitting in 13th. I unfortunately won't be at the game this weekend. My cousin who I actually go to the games with is getting married, which, you know, that's crazy, isn't it? You know, getting married on a match day, unbelievable. But no, in all seriousness, you know, it's these things are important, especially when I am the best man as well. So anyway, that's enough about real life. Let's get back to football. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to be missing an absolute classic at the weekend. What I'm hoping for is Leicester to continue this great run that we've had since Ranieri was sacked. Let me just concentrate on this penalty because I'm shocking at penalties. Told ya. Good save, actually. Yeah, I hope that we can continue this good run. I hope Vardy continues to score for numerous reasons. Yeah, I'm confident that we'll win. I will 9 times out of 10 back the lads. A lot of talk around Watford that Matsari is going to go at the end of the season. Ranieri being the name that is being bandied about. I'm not sure that's going to happen, to be honest. I do believe that Matsari could lose his job for some reason, but I'm not convinced that if he does, that Ranieri will be the one that takes over. I'm going to go with the Leicester win just because, you know, they're my team, and you know, I should always back my team. And you know, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident Leicester are safe now. I'm kind of 90% confident, but that's just the football fan in me coming out there. So yeah, let's hope that they can continue that run and win on the on my cousin's wedding day. So a double celebration all round. Just a quick note on Leicester. A lot of talk this week that Kasper Schmeichel is wanted by a number of clubs. Manchester United being heavily linked, Man City, Liverpool. Craig Shakespeare's come out in his press conference and said no, there's been no offers, and he believes the player wants to stay. I think clubs will come in for him. I'm 80-20 that he will leave. I think he's had a taste of Champions League football and he possibly wants it again. Now, two things here. Is he good enough for a club like Manchester United? Depends on their ambition. If United want to be a top level elite club again, you know, and be back amongst the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, is Kasper Schmeichel going to be your number one? Probably not. People forget that Kasper actually is older than people think he is. He's coming up to 30. Goalies do play a lot longer than outfield players, obviously. Is he at his peak? Probably. So he's probably not going to get any better. And he has some. And if he does go to United, he has some big shoes to fill there with David De Gea going the other way. You would think that if United are looking for a top-level goalkeeper, that there are, I hate to say, better options out there than Kasper Schmeichel. But he is a good keeper, don't get me wrong. He's a great shot stopper. Kicking can be suspect. He's not great coming from crosses, but he's a captain, he's a leader. You know. The other thing is, who do Leicester replace him with? Talk about there being Pickford, Joe Hart. Joe Hart, I would be happy with Joe Hart. However, I think his wage demands would be too high for Leicester. So, and there'd probably be a number of clubs after Jordan Pickford. So, and Leicester probably need two new keepers in the summer, because I don't think Ziela's going to stick around. But that's no great loss in my eyes. Anyway, let's move on. Enough talk about Leicester. Sorry about that. But anyway, evening kickoff on Saturday is Swansea versus Everton. So Swansea are in that final relegation spot. They are 2 points behind Hull. There isn't much in it in goal difference either. So, you know, this battle or this fight to stay away from that for that 18th spot is going to be tight, and it's probably going to go the distance. Everton are 7th. They can't be caught by West Brom in 8th, and they are, for me, they are too far behind to get 4th. They've been guaranteed European football for next season, which is great for Everton. Koeman's done a brilliant job. He hasn't added many players that Martinez left, and they are massively improved from last season. Lukaku's going to be the big one. Is he going to move in the summer? That will be a you know, trying to keep hold of him will be Everton's biggest test in the summer. Oh, this is a tough one. Swansea really need this, especially if Hull overturn Sunderland like I expect them to do. Wow, this is a tough one to call, and this could be an absolute barnstormer of a game. Again, Paul Clement has done a great job since coming to Swansea. He's proved a lot of people wrong, including this guy here. So, you know, fair play to him. He definitely has a future in managing a Premier League club, whether it's at Swansea or not. Nice own goal. I'm actually going to go with a Swansea win here to keep this excitement going for the end of the season.
Well, it is a goal. It is an own goal.
So on to Sunday's matches. We have Liverpool versus Southampton, or Southampton B versus Southampton. So Liverpool are clinging on to that third spot. Man City are behind them by 3 points, and Man City have a game in hand. And United in 5th are only 4 points behind them, and they also have a game in hand on Liverpool. You know, it's another. I don't know whether it's a missed opportunity, but I think there was a little bit of excitement on Merseyside with, you know, people saying, well, Klopp's going to have a full summer to bring in the players that he wants. We could challenge for the title. At the very start of the season, after a few games when Chelsea weren't playing very well and then Man City faltered, United were kind of up to their similar tricks of drawing, which they've continued to do despite being ridiculously unbeaten. You know, I did think Liverpool could go on and win the league, but they flattered to deceive again. You know, so I think they will get top 4, and I do think they will beat a Southampton side who are sitting in ninth, 41 points, not going anywhere, not doing anything, can't push for Europe, won't go down, all of that sort of stuff. So I'm going to go for a Liverpool win here, which will be a massive result for them with only a few games left. Then the big one on Sunday, we have Manchester. It's at Arsenal. It's at the Emirates. It's Arsenal versus Manchester United. Arsenal currently in 6th place. They have a couple of games in hand. Oh God, that's my bad. I wasn't watching. Anyway, while they're off celebrating, let's have a proper look at this. Right, Arsenal against Manchester United this Sunday, 4 o'clock at the Emirates. Arsenal in 6th. Few points behind, 5 points behind United on 5th. They have a game in hand on United and 2 games in hand on those teams on 35 games. So if they can win their games in hand, that'll put them on 66. It's going to be tough for them to make top 4 this year. It really is. And again, you know, if results go the wrong way at the weekend, in terms of, you know, if Arsenal lose, there's going to be more talk and more pressure on Wenger. The defeat against the old rival Tottenham last week won't have done him any favours at all. I just think he needs to come out and announce that he's leaving. But to be honest, I actually don't think he's going to leave. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's going to be offered a new contract. I think he'll sign it, and it'll be interesting. It'll be a big summer. You know, Europa League football potentially. What sort of players are they going to be able to attract? What players are they going to be able to keep? So it'll be an interesting summer. As I've said before in the video, United are on 65 points, 34 games. They're in 5th. They are putting the pressure on Man City to try and get that top 4. Many United fans think that top 4 is gone, and that Europa League is their only hope of getting into the Champions League next year. The winners of the Europa League go into the Champions League, if you didn't already know. And talk today that in the news that Mourinho is going to play a weakened or a rested side this Sunday, with the Europa League in mind. They've got a few injuries. Players are slowly coming back. You know, they're on a great run at the minute, unbeaten run, but they're just drawing too many games. And, you know, some of these drawn games, especially at home, if they could have converted them into results, they'd have won the league. You know, I know that sounds fairly straightforward and simple, but that's how it is. And you know, if they can turn those draws into wins, you know, next season, who knows? United could be back top of the league, winning it again. I'm going to go with another draw, given that United are going to supposedly play a weakened side. So yeah, I'm going to go with a draw on that one. And then finally, Monday, the 8th of May, we have Chelsea against Middlesbrough. So Chelsea are top of the league. They are 4 points clear of Tottenham. And they've just got to keep winning. It's as simple as that. They've just got to keep winning between now and the end of the season, equal or better Tottenham's results, and they're going to win the league. Simple as that. You know, sometimes, you know, at times they've played some scintillating football, ripped teams apart, and then they'll go and lose to Crystal Palace. But it's things like that that keep this season exciting, sorry. Middlesbrough, unfortunately, although not officially relegated, do look doomed to be heading back to the Championship. You know, for a large part of the season, their defence was keeping them up, but then they have started conceding a lot of goals and still not scoring. They had a decent result last week against Man City when they drew 2-2. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be good enough. And it's a shame because for the early part of the season, I actually thought Middlesbrough could stay up if they could just start scoring, but they've left it too late. You know, it's a shame for Steve Agnew because he's come in, he's tried to do a job. You know, and let's see what they can do in the Championship, whether they can bounce straight back. I think they have a better chance of bouncing straight back more than Sunderland do. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But in terms of this result, I only see it going one way, and that being the way of Chelsea winning on their march to hopefully winning the title. So, that is this weekend's preview and prediction. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. And I will speak to you next time. Thank you very much.
Could be dangerous. That's a great interception. Made the challenge well. Well, he's got the ball there and dealt with the danger, really. And they're sending the goalkeeper up for this corner. Well, here we can see the corner count so far. Well, the corner is dealt with decisively, but it's a heading chance now. That's a spectacular save. Turning the ball around, he's hung on to it. Gonna try his luck. At full extension, the goalkeeper makes the save. The shot's on. He's kept it out. Well, they've got to take this risk now for the corner. Up comes the keeper. Final whistle goes.
Bastards.
Victory for Tottenham Hotspur.